My beloved child. There is something unusual about this moment. Out of all the videos you could have watched, out of all the voices you could have listened to, you are here right now. And that is not a coincidence. Because today, a message is unfolding piece by piece, and it connects directly to the title of this video. Your soulmate has been waiting for the right moment to share this. Not yesterday. Not last week. Not during all those moments when confusion surrounded both of your paths. The right moment. And what makes this so surprising is that the message they have been holding on to is not something ordinary. It is not a random thought. It is not a passing feeling. It is something that has been growing quietly inside their heart for longer than you realize. Before we go any further, don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because every part of this story matters. Many people think soul connections are loud. They think destiny arrives with noise and instant answers. But some of the strongest connections move in silence. They develop behind the scenes. They grow during the moments when nothing seems to be happening. And that is exactly what has been taking place. While you were wondering. While you were questioning. While you were trying to understand what was changing around you. Someone was thinking. Someone was remembering. Someone was preparing. Your soulmate has been standing at the edge of an important decision, waiting for a sign that the timing was finally right. What makes this even more remarkable is that they almost shared it before. Several times. They almost spoke. They almost reached out. They almost revealed what was truly in their heart. But each time, something told them to wait a little longer. Not because the feeling was weak. Because the feeling was powerful. Powerful things often require the right timing. And that timing may be closer than you think. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the next part of this message reveals something many people never realize. Your soulmate has been watching your growth from a distance. Not necessarily with their eyes. But with their heart. They have noticed changes within you. Strength that was not there before. Wisdom that came through challenges. Patience that developed through uncertainty. And every one of those changes has been shaping the message they want to share. The truth is that what they want to say today is different from what they would have said months ago. Because both of you have changed. Both of you have evolved. Both of you have become ready for a conversation that could not have happened before. Think about that for a moment. What if the delay was never a rejection? What if the silence was never absence? What if the waiting itself was preparing something meaningful? That possibility changes everything. And that is why you must stay here. Because this story is only beginning. There is a reason the title of this video speaks about the right moment. Not just a moment. The right moment. A very specific point in time when understanding becomes possible. When words carry their full meaning. When hearts become ready to receive what they could not receive before. Your soulmate believes that moment is approaching. Closer than it has ever been. Closer than either of you expected. And the message they have been holding back is becoming impossible to keep hidden. The energy around it is growing stronger. The feeling is becoming clearer. The truth is moving toward the surface. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because in the next part, the hidden reason behind their silence will begin to unfold, and what you discover may completely change the way you see this connection. A quiet truth is beginning to rise to the surface. If you have stayed this far, then listen carefully, because this is where the story becomes deeper than most people expect. The reason your soulmate has been waiting is not what everyone assumes. It is not because they forgot. It is not because the connection disappeared. It is not because the feelings faded away. The real reason is far more surprising. They have been trying to find the perfect words. Not ordinary words. Not simple words. The kind of words that can explain something they have carried inside for a very long time. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because what comes next may completely change the way you see this connection. Your soulmate has replayed certain memories again and again. Small moments that may have seemed insignificant at the time. A conversation. A smile. A coincidence. A moment when your paths crossed in a way neither of you expected. To everyone else, those moments looked ordinary. To them, they meant something much bigger. That is why they have been holding on to this message. They wanted to be absolutely sure before sharing it. And recently, something changed. A realization. A breakthrough. A moment of clarity. Suddenly, pieces that once seemed disconnected started fitting together. Questions became answers. Doubts became confidence. Confusion became understanding. And now the message they have been carrying feels stronger than ever. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the next revelation is something very few people see coming. Your soulmate has noticed something special about you. Not just your appearance. Not just your personality. Something deeper. A quality that continues to stand out no matter how much time passes. A quality that cannot be copied. A quality that cannot be replaced. Every time they think about the future, that quality appears again. Every time they reflect on meaningful connections, that quality appears again. Every time they try to understand why this bond feels different, that quality appears again. And that is why the message has become impossible to ignore. The truth keeps returning. The feeling keeps returning. The connection keeps returning. No matter how much time passes. No matter how many distractions appear. No matter how many other things demand attention. The message remains. And now it is moving closer to being revealed than ever before. Take a moment and think about this. What if the waiting period was never empty? What if important things were happening behind the scenes the entire time? What if every delay was quietly preparing something greater? That possibility changes everything. Because sometimes the strongest moments arrive after the longest periods of uncertainty. And according to this story, That moment may be approaching now. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because there is one more detail you need to hear. Your soulmate has reached a point where silence feels heavier than speaking. The message they have been protecting is becoming harder to keep hidden. The thoughts are becoming clearer. The emotions are becoming stronger. The timing is becoming closer. And for the first time in a long time, they are beginning to believe that the right moment is finally arriving. Not someday. Not eventually. Soon. Very soon. In the next part, you will discover what happened during the turning point that changed everything and brought this long-awaited message closer than ever before. Everything changed during a moment no one saw coming. If you are still here, pay very close attention, because this part reveals the turning point. The moment when your soulmate stopped asking whether they should share their message and started asking when. That is a huge difference. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. For a long time, they were uncertain. They wondered if the timing was right. They questioned whether their thoughts would be understood. They wondered if their message would arrive too early or too late. But then something happened. Not a dramatic event. Not a loud announcement. A quiet realization. The kind of realization that changes everything. They began looking back at the journey. The unexpected meetings. The unusual coincidences. The moments that seemed random at first but later felt meaningful. And suddenly they noticed a pattern. A pattern that had been there all along. Every time they tried to move away from the thought of you, something reminded them. Every time they convinced themselves it was insignificant, another memory appeared. Every time they tried to ignore the connection, it returned stronger than before. That realization surprised them. Because some things fade with time. But this never did. In fact, it grew stronger. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the next revelation is the one they never expected. They discovered that the message they wanted to share was no longer just about the past. It was about the future. That changed everything. Suddenly, they were not simply remembering old moments. They were imagining new ones. Not simply reflecting. Planning. Not simply wondering. Believing. And that belief became impossible to ignore. The more they thought about it, the clearer it became. The message was not disappearing. It was becoming stronger every day. That is why the right moment matters so much. Because when someone carries a truth for a long time, there comes a point when silence no longer feels comfortable. The truth begins asking to be spoken. The message begins asking to be shared. The heart begins asking to be heard. And according to this story, that moment is approaching faster than ever. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because there is one final piece that changed their perspective completely. They realized that waiting forever was no longer an option. Not because they were impatient. Because they finally understood the value of what they wanted to say. The message became too meaningful, too important, too real. And once that realization arrived, everything started moving in a new direction. The hesitation became smaller. The confidence became greater. The distance between thought and action became shorter. And now, for the first time in a very long time, they feel closer than ever to sharing what has been hidden inside their heart. In the next part, the message itself begins to come into focus, and what it reveals may be the most surprising moment of this entire journey. The message is closer than it has ever been. If you have stayed until this moment, then you have reached the part where everything begins to come together. The title of this video was never about an ordinary message. It was about a truth that has been patiently waiting for the right moment to be revealed. And now that moment feels closer than ever. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because what your soulmate has been holding inside is simpler than most people imagine, yet more powerful than words can fully describe. After all the waiting, after all the wondering, after all the unanswered questions, they came to one conclusion. Some connections are too meaningful to ignore. Some people leave an impression that never fades. Some journeys continue to matter no matter how much time passes. And when they reflected on everything, one realization stood above all the others. You remained important. Not because of one moment. Not because of one memory. Not because of one conversation. But because of the collection of countless little things that created something unforgettable. That realization became the foundation of the message. And once they understood it, everything started making sense. The delays. The silence. The uncertainty. The waiting. It all led to this understanding. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the most surprising part is still ahead. Your soulmate discovered that the message they wanted to share was not really about explaining the past. It was about acknowledging the value of the connection. The value of the lessons learned. The value of the memories created. The value of the impact you had on their life. That is why they waited for the right moment. They did not want the message to be rushed. They did not want it to be misunderstood. They wanted it to arrive when it could be fully appreciated. And now, according to this story, that moment is finally approaching. Closer than ever before. The message is becoming clearer. The path is becoming brighter. The hesitation is becoming smaller. And the courage to speak is becoming stronger. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because here is the revelation that changes everything. The message was never hidden because it lacked importance. It was hidden because it carried importance. The more meaningful something becomes, the more carefully people choose the moment to reveal it. That is exactly what happened here. And now the waiting is reaching its final chapter. The right moment is no longer a distant possibility. It is becoming a reality. A moment when understanding replaces confusion. A moment when clarity replaces uncertainty. A moment when what has been unspoken finally finds its voice. So if you have watched from the beginning until now, remember this. Sometimes the greatest revelations are not the loudest. Sometimes they arrive quietly, patiently, perfectly timed. And according to this journey, your soulmate has been waiting for that perfect timing all along. Not because the message was weak. Because it mattered. Because it was real. Because it was worth waiting for. And now, more than ever before, the right moment feels closer than it has ever been. One final truth remains. If you have stayed until this point, then you have reached the final chapter of this journey. And what you are about to hear brings everything together in a way few people expect. The title of this video said that your soulmate has been waiting for the right moment to share this. Now you understand why. Because some messages are not meant to arrive during confusion. Some messages are not meant to arrive during uncertainty. Some messages wait until the timing aligns perfectly. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the greatest revelation of all is not hidden in a single sentence. It is hidden in the journey itself. Throughout this story, one truth has appeared again and again. The connection remained. The memories remained. The meaning remained. And that is what makes this message extraordinary. Your soulmate did not wait because the connection lacked value. They waited because the connection carried value. A value that deserved patience. A value that deserved understanding. A value that deserved the right moment. Think about that carefully. In a world where everything moves quickly, something chose to remain. Something chose to stay meaningful. Something chose to survive the passing of time. That alone tells a powerful story. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because there is one final realization that changes everything. The message your soulmate has been carrying is not simply about what they want to say. It is about what they finally understand. They understand that certain people leave lasting footprints on the heart. They understand that some connections continue teaching lessons long after they begin. They understand that genuine meaning cannot be forced, rushed, or replaced. And because of that understanding, the message has become clearer than ever. No longer hidden. No longer uncertain. No longer waiting for endless tomorrows. Instead, it is moving toward the moment it was always meant to reach. The right moment. The moment described in the title. The moment that has quietly been approaching from the very beginning. And perhaps the most surprising part of all is this. The message itself may be important. But the journey leading to the message may be even more important. Because the waiting created wisdom. The silence created clarity. The distance created perspective. And the passage of time revealed what truly mattered. That is the once-in-a-lifetime realization hidden inside this story. Not every connection survives time. Not every feeling grows stronger through patience. Not every message becomes more meaningful the longer it waits. But this one did. And that is why the right moment matters so much. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the huge thing was never a dramatic surprise. It was the discovery that something meaningful remained present through every season of the journey. That is what your soulmate finally recognized. That is what brought them closer to sharing their truth. That is what transformed waiting into understanding. And that is why this story reaches its conclusion with a simple realization. The right moment is powerful because it arrives when both the message and the listener are ready. And according to everything revealed in this journey, that moment has never been closer. The waiting has meaning. The message has meaning. The connection has meaning. And now the story stands at the edge of a brand new chapter, ready for the moment that has been quietly approaching all along. The right moment.